Might meet somebody with a headphone fetish, you know?
Or a pillow fetish. So
That's right. Then you're in business.
Okay, but you can't see the pillows under the...
Oh, but we're going to discuss
Guess
this.
where they are.
Oh, no.
Welcome to the Sofa Kingdom podcast with your hosts, Nelson,
Ed,
and our special guest today,
Margo.
and her pillows.
You can't see them, but they're here.
Yes,
They're here.
not one, but two pillows.
We'll let you figure out where she's hiding.
Okay, but not only that, they are pillows from a yard sale.
Oh,
yard
very
sale
nice.
pillows.
Haven't washed them.
They're even more comfortable.
I mean, you are going to throw them out afterwards anyway, so I mean, they'll be drenched in sweat, I'm
Yeah,
sure.
that's probably.
I'll buy them off you.
How much?
Yeah.
Economy's
after-
crashing.
we'll talk after the show.
How much?
I mean, you can
Talk
probably
about-
get a
we'll
good
debate,
price
we'll
for
debate.
them in Japan.
Oh my god. They have panties and vending machines
Yes,
in Japan.
they really do.
Used.
they
Used
love their
panties.
vending machines.
Yes. You
Yeah.
can get, if it's sick and perverted, you can probably get it in a vending machine in Tokyo.
Yeah.
See, there's a market you could tap, Margo. Move to Japan, sells your sweaty.
Do you know how fucking fat I would get
pillows.
if I ate sushi all the time?
It's okay. Bigger panties, bigger price.
That's true.
Yes.
See, we're talking about the market here. Come
That's
on.
true.
Yeah, it's like panties per yard. Is that
That's
what
right.
you're trying to?
How do we just start and we're talking about my panties already? I hope this table blocks everything.
Oh no, it does. It
Okay.
does. We
It does, it does.
strategically put it.
Can you strategically make it higher? Because
No, we can't. We want to give the illusion that we're trying to help, but not the actual help. You
And
know?
nobody
Yeah.
will see my crotch.
it's inverted.
Yeah, people
true.
pay good money to see Ian's crotch.
They
yes.
do.
Yeah.
Not as much as Margo's pillows, but
Yeah.
we're working our way up her.
I mean, they end
Jesus,
up in the
that
same
is- That
place.
is a good way to start a podcast.
There's no wrong way to start.
So I'm gonna say I'm not gonna bring up the person, but she's very close to the family, let's say, and she's in the Air Force, and she told me that she did her first 2 jumps out of planes, and the only cadet that has managed to land not once but twice in cactus.
Oh no, that's the worst.
Like she literally had to pull cactus
Oh,
out of her
like a
leg.
cartoon.
Oh yeah, ripped the jumpsuit the whole night. I'm like, look, I'm proud. You know, you did it. You jumped out of the plane
Thought he sounded
twice.
brown.
Fearless. But like, I'm
hear
like,
anything.
you know, your call sign's gonna be Cactus Girl, right? Like
Tom Cruise would never land. in a cactus.
Does
Tom
cactus,
Cruise would never do it.
I'm
does
just not-
cactus have like that, like a poison or a sap in it that makes it hurt like later on?
I don't know. I will find out though.
We will have to do a quick Google on cacti biology.
But they have medics
Yeah.
nearby, so they immediately, you know, they pull
Yeah.
that stuff out with tweezers. They treat it with.
I would hope not, because that
antibacterial
big
stuff.
fat dude in Jackass, he like jumped on a whole patch of fucking cactus
Yeah.
in that new movie. He jumped in it like he was
Really?
shirtless, jumped in
Yeah.
an entire patch. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
if they got venom, that dude needs the anti venom right now.
Well, look, I mean, if you're talking about Jackass, those motherfuckers been doing a lot of shit where they shouldn't have been doing it.
I saw
and-
so many dicks in that movie
that movie had the most dick.
that I've never wanted to see.
Yeah,
like dick
yeah.
per prank ratio. It's just
Yeah.
But like, it's also
Dicks.
old dick too. It's
Yeah.
like all
It's-
over 40 dick.
Yeah, it's not quality dick. It's all like bargain bin dick. I mean, I love the guys. We grew up with them. I'm just
Yeah.
saying,
like yard sale pillows.
yeah.
Like on one hand-
They're heroes in a way, but I don't want to see their dick. I don't want to see their dick.
and meanwhile, these were free yard sale pillows. They gave them to me.
Oh,
They're
the quality
She's
keeps
like,
going
I
up.
need
Yeah.
to see over the table that's not really that tall at all. They're like,
So basically,
just
the
give it to
pillows.
the poor girl.
So the pillows were nearly worthless until you sat on them. Now their value has skyrocketed.
yeah, but also
two cents.
yeah, 2 cents. Who even carries pennies anymore?
What's a penny?
Old people do.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. I still get offended by them. Like when you're in the store and you just like, I just want to swipe my card and go, and they're like,
And their
hold on a
exact
second.
change.
Let me dig through my fucking purse. I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
people still do this? Like, who the fuck carries that kind of change on them?
And why didn't you have it ready ahead of time?
Yeah, what the
Especially in the
fuck?
morning, you're on your way to work. You're like, everybody, just use your card. We could all get the fuck out of here, get back in the car, get where we're going. And somebody wants to sit there and start pulling pennies out of their purse and try to find whatever change is in there. Like, you don't even have it contained in one little pouch. It's just loose in your bag.
Yeah,
You're
it's
just
just
ruining
flopping around.
everybody's morning.
Yeah. No, those people and the lotto people, they get me fucking pissed off.
The lotto people. That's an addict right there.
Yeah,
you want
like-
to see a meth head? Go to the lotto.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just want to get my morning, like, like my little
'cause
Clint
they'll
bar,
win- they'll win.
a little water, and they're like, I'm going through them. I'm like, oh, come
Well,
on.
they'll buy one. They'll like scratch it off
Right
there
there.
in line, and then like they'll win and they'll buy more. I'm like, you need to get the fuck out of my way.
I'm sorry, but the weirdest person on earth is like a lotto ticket addict. They're
yeah.
the weirdest people.
I worked with a guy where literally every penny he made that he could scrounge up went right back into lotto.
Yeah.
Like every
I know a lot of
morning
people like that.
he would come in, $100 worth of tickets,
The idiot tax.
scratching them,
Yeah.
leave at
Idiot
lunch,
text.
Idiot tax.
bring in the ones he won, come back from lunch, scratching some more, and just do it again the next day.
Have you ever known someone that win the lotto? Like, I
gonna
had
say
a
that.
friend. I had a friend of mine in Brooklyn who his parents won the lotto, and they decided to stay in Brooklyn. They won a couple $1 million or something.
It was that train set kid?
Dane.
Yeah.
Train set.
Yeah.
His dad had a train set that was like 20 foot by 20 foot
Second
mounted.
weirdest
It
people
was
on Earth.
Yeah.
it was absurd, but you go in the basement and you're like, this is not something I'm gonna forget.
Yes.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That was
exactly.
Mr. Rogers.
I feel like train set guys are creepy.
But are they worse than lotto ticket
That's what I was
guys?
saying. It's the second worst
It's only,
person.
it's only creepy when they ride the train in the room.
Yeah.
All right, so we're establishing a list here. We've got lotto guys,
Yep.
train set guys.
Okay.
What comes after the train set people?
Guys who buy pillows that are sat on.
Out of vending
You're gonna
machines.
run out of money quick, Ian.
We're not there yet. Must have more pillows.
You just walk in, he's in like a room full of pillows. All he sees is eyes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just smelling them.
It's like, where have you been, Ian? Driving around, buying more pillows.
I
for
don't
the
know.
sale. It's a vicious cycle.
Used pillows. It's a gateway drug. It's a gateway drug.
So, pillow smelling guy. That's it. That's the
Yeah.
third guy.
I will say that I won't say his name. He did win one time, and he actually catered lunch for everybody in the company. Like
So he
the
went
day-
broke immediately after winning.
So he did actually like he won, got some money. He's like lunch on me for everybody,
There you go.
which was kind of cool. But
Yeah.
it was a couple of years. I'm pretty
But
sure
you
that was
spend
the only
more
time
than
he
you-
won.
There was some dude in Australia, and it was like on video. It was years ago. This guy won the lottery. It was like a 6-figure thing. Like he won this local lottery in Australia, and then he went to the store, like he cashed it in, whatever. And then while he was at the store, he bought another lottery ticket and won.
And won
a
again?
separate
Yes, I
lottery.
saw
Yeah.
that.
And he started.
And he was like the nicest guy.
He started to fucking cry because he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god!" He thought he was gonna die. He was like, "Wait a minute, no!" Like, dude won the
Yeah.
lottery twice in 2 days. It was like, "What the fuck?" Like, wait a
Yeah,
minute.
and he was a nice guy too. Like they told a whole story about
Yeah.
him. He was actually like a good person.
Yeah.
I still don't know if he like went broke afterwards. Most
Yeah.
people who win go broke. I had a
They
friend
do.
that
Yeah, it's like 3/4 of the people 2 years later.
maybe more than
Because they don't know how to
Bankrupt.
manage their
Well,
money
they don't know how
or
to
try
manage
to.
They buy the fast car. They buy the house they can't afford. They
Yeah.
don't
Right.
think about the insurance payments.
The taxes that are coming down the line.
Everybody comes
Yeah.
out of the woodwork and fucks them now. They're like, all right.
Yeah.
You got cousins coming out like,
Yeah.
hey, man, I'm your 10th cousin from your aunt over here. We never talked before, but can I borrow 10 grand?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as if you win the lottery, the first things you should do is 1, get a very good lawyer you can trust, and 2, get a very good accountant.
Yeah.
If you have that, you might have a chance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going broke.
and
You're
invest.
going
Just
broke.
because you have a lot of money doesn't mean that you're not going to just run through it. You
Yeah.
know. So, but I have a friend that his son won when he was probably 18 or 19. He won like 150 grand. I think it was gone in less than 6 months.
Shit, yeah.
And he bought like a bunch of shitty mud trucks and like, and it's all gone now.
Oh God.
Does he live in Loxahatchee?
No, he lived in Tequesta, believe it or not.
I'll go with believe it. Yeah. Doesn't know. Our friend Dane, when his parents won the lottery, they decided for whatever fucking reason to turn the inside of their house completely white.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean,
That's what
white
rich people do.
wallpaper,
You might
white,
not know that.
white carpets, white couches, and it's basically like, come in, don't touch nothing, don't look at anything, don't sit next to
Definitely
nothing.
don't
It's like-
spill nothing.
It's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, we couldn't do anything in this house.
It was a
like-
museum.
he immediately became the bane of our existence. We're like, you have all the coolest shit. We want to go and hang out with you, but your fucking house sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so we couldn't go there anymore. But
Hoity-toity.
yeah,
My friend's parents actually won. My friend's parents won the lottery, and they are just, I don't know how to explain them. They're crazy people. And they spent, I think they won
sums
like
it up.
1.9 million or something, and I think they spent it all in a year. They bought like a $20,000 bonsai tree that died a week later, like the dumbest shit. And they've been in debt for their whole lives.
So you're doomed to fail at that point.
I mean, it's just people just don't know how
Were
to
they
manage
like
money.
Mr. Miyagi fans, and they're like, we want this bonsai tree?
I have no idea. They just wanted to buy whatever they could buy because they just wanted to.
No. Invest it, never touch the principal, only
Never touch
spend the
principal.
interest.
Yeah.
Yes,
I
absolutely.
I always told people that if I won the lottery like that, I would go to med school just to get a doctorate to argue with people. I would never practice. I would never practice. I would
Just to say, I'm a doctor.
Exactly. Yes. Social settings. I would say something outlandish and stupid and argue with someone. They'd be like, "What do you know?" I'd be like, "Well, actually, I have a fucking doctorate from the university."
I love making shit up and arguing with people.
I can print you out a doctorate from Photoshop.
Dude, it'd be fucking-
if you really want one,
really
save you
cheap.
a lot of money, bro.
No, I want to struggle
You
to
realize
get
you
it.
can still say that you're a doctor.
Yeah,
Who's
no,
gonna
I
ask
could.
for your credentials?
Exactly. But then I wouldn't have it. But I would carry it with me.
So essentially, you want to be like
Yeah.
Dr. Cosby, is what you're
I
saying.
want to be just an asshole. I want to be Dr. Asshole. I want to argue with people and then just pull a doctorate
So you
out.
should work specifically for proctology while you're getting your doctorate.
I don't know if I
good
could do that. I don't know if I could do that.
Get that license plate like Seinfeld, like ass man.
Yes,
a good one.
exactly.
There's certain things I wouldn't like. I don't know, like doctor of proctology, definitely not. Gynecologist, definitely fucking
Well, I mean,
not.
if you want to be Dr. Asshole,
yeah,
Now listen, we're happy for those kinds of doctors, but
couldn't do it.
what train of thought makes you go like, I want to study the human anus? And not only that, I want the human anus in my face all the time. Like, you have to be a really special kind
you got to
of
remember,
person.
just because somebody's a doctor doesn't mean that they weren't a D and C student. Sometimes you get where you land.
That is true. You know what they call the guy who graduates from med
So-
school with the lowest GPA?
Still a doctor.
There's not an asterisk next to his name.
Don't most doctors have to specialize in school, right? Like, you
Well,
have to be
some
like,
do.
I want,
Depends.
Unless
I
you're a
want
family
my
practitioner.
butt doctorate. Like, don't you have to?
Yeah, you have to go to more school to be a butt
I had an
doctor.
ass
Yeah.
doctor named Dr. Rimmer.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
I'm serious, and he's a great doctor.
He
and
was born
sure.
for it. He
I'm
was
sure.
born
He
for
had
it.
to deal with my ass and my sister's ass.
Thank you, sir. You're a goddamn hero.
He really is. He's a fucking hero. He hurt me, but
That's like
a different
next
story.
to Mother Teresa, right? That's like deals with Margot's ass, Mother Teresa.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
They're right
Hands-
there.
yeah.
together, yeah.
You're a veteran, sir. You've been in the trenches,
You
literally.
serve and
He can
protect.
argue whatever he wants, and he has a license for it.
I've seen things.
Yeah, and they've all been shitty.
Or not shitty, depending on your problem.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
true,
that's
Speaking
true.
of that, I had a giant cup of coffee, so I'm hoping I don't shit my pants while I'm sitting here with you guys, because I do not take breaks.
It's okay.
As
It's
long
all
as
right.
it doesn't
It's
hit
all
the
right,
couch.
you know?
You've got
I'm
two
clenched.
I have not touched my coffee yet.
to catch. Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into
Abortion?
something that
Yes.
Margo. No.
Roe versus Wade was overturned.
I ran for
not
you
going there.
motherfuckers.
I was gonna say Obi-Wan. Who the fuck said abortion?
Star Wars, Roe v. Wade. They're kind of similar.
It's pretty much the
Talk,
same
you know?
thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God! No, let us do
Lots of people that watch Star Wars have abortions.
let us do a complete 360, please. And I'm only
It would
bringing
be
this up.
180, but you can't.
Yeah, if you do
you
360,
understand.
you're facing the exact
Yeah.
same way you were looking.
Which is
Let's
what
do
my,
a 360.
which is what the ass doctor
All right,
said.
all right, 180 then. 180. Yes, let us correct our course. And I'm only bringing this up because Margo has nothing to do with Star Wars. Hates
No.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I
Doesn't even
can't.
probably know who he is. You know
kind
who
of
Ewan
do.
McGregor
Is he the
old guy with the
Yeah,
beard?
I love Ewan McGregor. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he plays Obi-Wan Kenobi. So see.
Well, yeah, I know that part.
Okay, all right. All right. And this is just for we'll dive into it really quickly. It was the season finale of the show, and I liked the show. Didn't hate the show. Thought it was good, and I thought it was one of the best lightsaber battles that I've seen in a while.
It had its moments. It had its moments.
It definitely-
I think when he started like levitating all the rocks and shit, I was like, wait a minute, when was Obi-Wan this fucking strong?
Well,
Hold on.
that was the point. He never was previous to that.
Right. It was born out of necessity.
Yes.
Yes, he had to fight for his life, and that's where he found his.
If only I could do that when I
Power.
needed it, you know?
I know somebody.
I feel like when you guys talk about like fight scenes in movies, what you're really saying is that you love choreography.
Well, Nelson loves.
All right.
I mean,
Nelson loves
basically, right?
Nelson loves musicals. He does.
I fucking hate
Musicals. We talked about this, didn't we?
Nelson
we
is
did.
a very avid fan
did.
of
Listen,
musicals.
Ian was trying to push Les Miserables, however you, on everybody.
Les
The other,
Miserables?
yeah, that
Yeah,
piece of shit. No
yeah.
thanks.
Oh no, it's so
No, no,
good.
no, no,
What
no.
about
No, it
Rent?
is not.
Let's watch
No, it is
Rent.
not.
No, that's a hard pass.
Rent?
That's like Chinese water torture for me.
Jeez. I've only watched one musical in recent times, and that was the one with that Lin-Manuel
Hamilton.
Hamilton. That was good. I like that.
And I will say, out of my hatred towards musicals, it wasn't bad.
I got halfway
Bad.
through
Like,
it.
I could.
I was like, a little break in the middle. I'm like, yeah, that's enough.
only because
King George. King George was my favorite.
Only
The
because of
whole
King
fucking
George.
King George was my
He saved
favorite.
that motherfucker because he was funny as fuck. But outside of that, and because it had a little hip hop in it, I was like, all right, I could tolerate this shit. But it was still pretty terrible.
What's
Like,
your favorite musical, Margo? What the?
You seem like an orphan.
my
Annie.
Okay, for
You
someone
seem
who
like
knows
an
nothing
orphan
about
Annie
Star
kinda
Wars,
girl.
why do you speak Wookiee? What the fuck was that?
Have you seen my shower drain?
I don't think we could say yes on that.
I can relate to the
Nobody
hairiness.
has seen your
At the very
shower
least.
drain.
Is it weird that I know that Wookiee means hairiness?
Yeah.
A little bit? I mean, hey, I know some shit. I don't
Yeah,
know.
no. Or maybe somebody has called you Wookiee from time to time.
And and Sasquatch and a few other things. But yeah,
That's a lovely Wookiee hole you have.
yeah.
Quite the Wookiee you have.
You have a wonderful Wookiee, madam.
You're welcome.
You're sitting next to one, to be honest. Yeah. It's all love here at the
God
Something
damn
in
it.
the podcast. So, do you know what a musical is? Maybe we'll have to elaborate. Eddie, can you please explain to her what a musical is? Maybe she's
Yeah,
never seen
they're not
one.
my thing. That's Ian.
That's
Oh, Ian, yes. Les Miserables.
Yeah, musical is like it's a presentation where majority of the lyrics are delivered.
Fucking I sing in a band. I studied music all through college. My entire college was all music. I fucking know what musical is. And that's why I hate it. Because it is the anti-music to what real music is.
See, I
have
feel
like
the
a-
same way because
I have like a
love
degree
music.
in jazz and rock and roll and shit.
See, like I love music, and so there is something that takes
such an
me away
insult to
from
music.
the movie when you're watching it and they break out into song. It's just like it's out of place.
I love
to
it.
me. Like
When it happened in Miss Marvel, I just thought of you instantly. I was like,
Oh, I know. And
Nelson
I-
is watching this right now. And he's so happy.
But to be fair, it wasn't. See, it wasn't a musical. What they did was they were dancing at a wedding. So it was like, okay,
Yeah, well,
I
that's
could
a
see
different
that. That's a
scene,
different
yeah.
kind of thing. They were dancing at a wedding. Like if the whole episode was them singing their fucking parts, I was gonna get pissed off.
What if that was the way like life was? You know? Like what if like you just went around, everybody just sang?
I
to
kind
each
of
other?
do that, actually.
I mean, that's
I have,
what
like, theme
suicide
music
is
in my-
for, right?
Yeah.
I actually heard the new Suicide Squad's gonna be a musical.
No,
Oh.
get the fuck out of here. Jeez, I quit.
That's the new direction for all the DC
Yeah,
movies.
all DC movies are
all
gonna be
musicals.
They're really trying to just tank themselves and go bankrupt. If that is the case.
I just realized why I hate musicals, because I hate myself and my life is a musical. I'm sitting in my car and like every time if I'm in traffic, I'm like, move out of the way, motherfucker. You're a fucking cunt, and so is your mother. You know, like that's my
that
life.
wasn't bad. That
I've had a lot of practice.
That seems
I live
like
in
a hit.
Florida, so the driving is bullshit around here.
It really
It is. It's not
But yeah,
getting
my
any
life is a
better
musical.
either.
Oh, so thanks for doing that into the mic. I have a funny story from last night. Before I forget.
Sure.
Okay, most people like on Fridays they're like out at a bar drinking whatever and talking to people. You know, I'm single, and you know people are either texting somebody late at night, having a glass of wine, whatever. Sure. I end up on Instagram having a full like life meaningful conversation with a Nigerian scammer. On Instagram, some guy like made a fake profile of like this Marine, like this really good looking like ex-Marine or something, and tried to start talking to me. And I was like, bro, I'm not stupid. Like you're obviously like a fake. I said, but seriously, who are you? Like, how do you do this? Like, how do you end up making money? Like, what's the scam? Tell me. I'm really interested to know. And I'm also really interested to know like about your country and where you're from and your government and why you guys have to do these scams. And we ended up having a really like heartfelt conversation about how tough it really is to live under a government like that and how they scam because they're barely surviving. And he's a student. And so, so that was my exciting Friday night.
I mean,
then you got all the guys in India there
to
just
be
trying
honest,
to
it
see
sounds pretty
Bob's and
interesting,
vagines.
right?
Yeah.
No, to be honest, it does sound pretty interesting because, like,
It was a good conversation.
It's something out of a necessity, right?
Yeah.
Because they have no other means in which it's not like there are a lot of job opportunities. It's not like they can leave where they are, so they have to figure out ways.
Some of them
to make
actually
money.
work in call centers, and when the normal business hours for the call center closes,
they stay
and they're working their scams out of those call centers.
Yeah.
It's the same way the Home Shopping Network makes money. They target old people. Do you want this vase?
Bro.
You can have it now for $19.
I forget the name of the movie, but I actually just seen a movie. It was fucking really good. It was with Peter Dinklage in it.
Oh,
And
Tyrion Lannister.
And and the whole premise of the movie was this lady's business was she would find old people and work with a team of doctors and deem them unfit.
I Care a Lot.
I Care a Lot.
I love her.
Yo,
Sorry, that was loud in the microphone, but that's how much I love her, and I am not a lesbian, but I
that
might
movie
be for
was
her.
so good. Like, because
And
you
it's
don't
true.
realize that these things
It's
are
true.
happening.
That's how that shit works.
Yeah, she basically
They
works
take all your money.
with lawyers and doctors, and they find somebody who has a lot of money, and they deem them unfit to take care of themselves by a court of law.
Become their guardian.
Become their legal guardian
And take
control
everything.
all of their assets.
Well, that's how it actually really works. Like my grandmother had some money when she was older, and thank God for my dad who's be able to take care of everything. He had to have her gift him all of his money and then claim her as indigent, because otherwise, the second she goes into a nursing home, they just take all of her money and they just spend whatever they need to spend on her, which is cheap. They just take all your money. That's how it actually works. That's why that movie is like so accurate. It's crazy.
Yeah, and it did shine a light on that kind of a scam in industry that's basically made
Completely
off
legal.
of the backs.
Yep.
Oh, dude,
of-
Florida's the
of these
place for
people.
that.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh man, we're the retirement home mecca.
Well, and-
we're where you go.
Yeah.
And drug rehabs are the same thing. They
are
make
the-
sure that you come back because they get 30, 50 grand a pop every time you come and sign in.
Also, a big thing in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just
Florida's
move
kinda
you
like-
from
yeah.
one little drug rehab to the next one, and they get
halfway
Bam
houses.
Margera's down
Listen,
here.
it's the wild
Bam,
West
Bam
out here.
Margera was just cited in Delray. He
Really?
Yeah, he broke out for a little
Somebody
bit.
else is
Yeah.
in North Palm recently.
went to a bar, so that rehab is
Out
doing
the window.
good.
Well, they're doing their job. They're keeping you in the cycle.
Yeah, I can't imagine why they didn't let you in Jackass, Bam. I have no idea why.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
his story was kind of a sad one, right? Because here's a man that was kind of like, I wouldn't say at the top of his intellectual game, but at least he had a life, he had a celebrity status, and then it all went into fucking drugs and alcohol.
Yeah.
I like Bam, but Bam, like, at least, like, especially the vibe I'm getting from what Steve-O is saying, he says...
I heard that the other day.
Yeah, he says that, like, Bam, his whole life, no one ever told him no.
Yeah.
Like, ever since he was young, he made a shit ton of money off skateboarding videos, CKY, then Viva La Bam took off after
Right.
Jackass.
Right.
So he was making millions of dollars all throughout his, like, late teens into his
Yep.
20s. The dude did what he wanted.
Right.
and
And
literally
never grew up.
The focus was
Never grew up. Right, ever.
him doing what he wanted to do
do.
was the focus of all of those things as well.
And then when
Yeah.
he got a full-blown drug addiction, and the people in Jackass are now grown up, family men, some of them have beat addiction themselves. They're like, dude, you got to get clean if you want to be in this movie.
Sure. And they were doing
couldn't
him a
do it.
favor.
He couldn't
they were
do it.
doing
I
him
mean,
a favor.
as much as they do the things they do in the movies, during production, they all stay sober because they did the same
Yeah.
thing with Steve-O. Before the shooting would start, they would make sure he was sober, make sure he was clean, make sure that everybody is consciously choosing whatever stupid thing they were going to do that was probably going to get them hurt.
Right.
But at least they're sober while they're making
They're
that
like,
choice.
hey, listen, we're going to hit you in the balls with a bowling ball.
We need you
But
to
you
get
need to be
we need you to
sober.
be sober.
30 days first.
We
Yes.
need you to
That's
sign
like being
for this.
a sober stripper. Yeah. It's like you can't handle this. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but Bam and Ryan Dunn and all the Jackass guys, some of the Jackass guys, made a movie called Haggard. Brandon Novak, all that. Best movie. It's my best friend and I. It's our favorite movie of all time for years and years. It is hilarious.
Never seen it.
And in the end, they have extra clips and extra scenes. And
That was a long time ago.
It's like an hour long of Bam trying to get Novak to quit heroin and to quit drugs, and he was always such an advocate to like get Steve-O to quit drugs and to get Novak. They were all really messed up, and now he's on the other end of the spectrum, and it's really sad to see. It's really sad to see.
I'm pretty sure
And he's from my hometown, by the way.
Yeah.
Where I grew up. Bam is like right down the street from where my aunt and uncle live.
Westchester,
Alabama?
Westchester, Pennsylvania.
Westchester,
Yep.
Pennsylvania.
I go to the coffee
Alabama.
shop that's in Greenbow, Alabama.
Alabama.
Definitely not Alabama. I still have teeth, and my parents aren't cousins or brothers.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she did come here in a trailer.
Yeah.
Well, that's a long story. Economy's crashing. We said that before.
It is. Speaking of, we're all going to be moving in together to save money, right?
That pinnacle of wisdom in the United States. Shining jewel of culture that is Alabama.
How dare you, sir? Most of our fans are from Alabama.
Oh, my God.
We have fans.
Wait, hold on. Do they have
guys have
internet in
fans?
Alabama?
I don't know.
They do in Nigeria, apparently.
You can always tell because they drag their foot into the bar and go, roll tide. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Roll Tide?
We have an Alabama fan. Never mind.
Oh,
Never mind. Oh, Lord.
We have
Hide the books.
We have the representative
Hide
from
the
Alabama
books
right
that
here.
anger him.
Hide the books. Holy shit.
Just kidding, Alabama. We love you.
Yeah.
And your cousin, Mississippi.
We got the 4th of July
Your cousin
coming
that you're
up.
sleeping with.
Yes. We know.
Yeah.
We're looking at you too, Louisiana. You got New Orleans, so we'll give you a break. A lot of culture there.
We got the 4th of July coming up, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I have some pretty interesting 4th of July stories growing up in Brooklyn, where you watch stupidity at its finest. Because what happens is in Brooklyn, they would do these things where we would get block parties. We'd close off the block. Everybody would come out.
Those are called riots, Nelson.
Now they're called riots. But back then, they were peaceful protests with fireworks.
Wait, I thought we weren't talking about abortion.
God damn it. It's not going to keep...
Which is illegal in Alabama, by the way. It was illegal
I
now.
have to scrap this whole episode.
Here at the Sofa Kingdom podcast,
Why
we do not
invite
support...
me? Why do you invite me? I'm going to ruin your entire fan base.
It's all right.
I love
Fuck
it. I love it. I'm aware. Anyway, you were
Our fan base is fucked up.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
That's why they stick around. So we
I
love you
haven't
guys.
started yet.
We love you guys.
you were talking about the riots.
I was
in your
talking about
childhood?
the riots, yes, in my childhood. Actually, one of the funny stories is like during this time, we were one of the first Spanish families
Sorry.
in the neighborhood.
Riots in your childhood. Are you talking about Rodney King? How fucking old are you?
That's none of your business.
Okay.
So back to Rodney King. So so we were one of the first like Puerto Rican families in basically an all Italian neighborhood. And it was the first or second 4th of July we were spending there, and everybody's doing their fireworks and having fun. But my father was the super at this building. And so at this time, they really didn't even really want us in the fucking neighborhood. Like, we were the Spicks, we were the Roaches. Like, they would say
What's
this
changed? We're in Loxahatchee. Have you noticed?
shit. No, this is why I'm here. I got thick skin. I can deal with this shit. You know what I mean? I don't care.
Thick foreskin.
They ride out with their Confederate flag. I ride out with my Puerto Rican flag. You know what I mean? It's the same shit. So, why do you think Ian's my friend? I'm like, I have one of you guys with us. He's with us.
I'm barely human, Nelson.
That's true too. I don't think he's the greatest representative.
I'm not a good representative of the human race.
All right, so
Yeah.
back to the fucking story.
Yeah.
So they're doing their block party, and these people didn't want us there in the neighborhood, so they would come into the building and they're pissing all over the building.
Oh God.
Right, and they know that my father's a super, so he's gonna have to fucking deal with cleaning this up.
Wow.
They're breaking into the backyard, they're peeing everywhere, they're throwing shit, fireworks in the back in the back of the building, causing problems for him. So my father, as the stable person that he is, grabs a samurai sword
Okay.
from his.
The staple in every Spanish household in
Explains your
Brooklyn.
home decor.
Listen, my father was more into Bruce Lee than I am into Marvel. Like, he had nunchucks, tri-nunchucks, ninja stars, like
You
shoes
imagine
to
like
climb
a
trees
Puerto
with.
Rican ninja.
Oh yeah, like when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in that movie and he had the fro, my father's like,
Nice.
"This
Game of Death.
I'm in.
Nice.
We're in. My people, we're here." So he grabbed a samurai sword, ran out into the middle of the street, and threatened to kill everybody.
Well, how else are you supposed to take care of that?
No,
Absolutely.
but it did stop that from happening. Got him a little bit of respect.
I was gonna say, they
into the
liked you after that.
community.
Oh, yeah.
They really feared my father more than they liked us.
Ruled by fear, not by love.
Yeah. There were a couple other instances of fighting and things like that we had to do when we were there, but slowly but surely gained our respect. And then they come to understand that, like, actually, Puerto Rican families and Italian families are very similar as far as, like,
Oh, yeah.
family ethics and getting together and eating and, like,
always
you know what I
about
mean?
food.
Like, it really is. We wind up getting along, but it was just the 4th of July brings that kind of a memory to me, as far as, like, that's one of the crazier instances that happened besides people blowing up their
I was gonna
fingers.
say, to me, it's literally just destroying things, just blowing
They're
things
so
up.
white.
Just celebrating,
fucking
you
white.
know,
So what's,
celebrating my right to explode things.
so
That's-
what's your fondest 4th of July memory?
I don't think I have any fond ones. I mean,
So what's your not fondest?
I've shot a bottle rocket out of my ass. I fired a Roman candle at a homeless person in Baltimore. I've done some very I've done some unsavory things. But, you know, hey, it's, you know, it's
Sounds
we're celebrating.
sounds very privileged, Ian.
That's how my people would celebrate. Pull up next to a homeless guy in Baltimore. Sir, have you heard about freedom?
Roman candles, like,
Yeah. God bless.
that's fucked up. No, in
Oh, yes.
Pennsylvania, they would play freeze tag with bottle rockets.
Yeah,
That's what we would do for the 4th of
you
July.
turn the lights off and you double hand it. You light both your Roman candles and you all go out into the yard, like, tombstone style, and just fucking
good
hope
old
I don't
days.
hit you in the face.
Yeah.
Like,
The good old days.
yeah. You know? Back when we were on our parents' insurance. You know? It's
Goddamn
like,
right.
it's, you know,
Yeah. What about you, Margo?
You'll cover the bill.
So I'm actually half Italian, and my favorite 4th of July memory was peeing in your dad's building.
I knew I recognized you. I knew I fucking recognized
I mean, I do it
you.
standing up. I'm just saying.
I have to say, you urinate a lot.
I do. My bladder's an acorn, so it is what it is.
She's like 3 foot tall, and most of it is just
It's
water
just
weight.
I am 98% water, and Mitch Hedberg joke, which means I'm that far away from drowning. Yeah.
Well, we hate you,
Oh,
Eddie.
God. Oh, God. Ed, any magical
Some guy
freedom
came out with a
signs?
samurai sword, and,
Please,
you know, and
call-
then we just ate together. We
Call
just
the
ate
cops.
dinner.
I always go low. I'm attacking homeless people. So
Yeah,
I
no.
mean,
Yeah.
you know where to go, but
As
up
we
from
all
here.
should, right?
As you should.
Yeah, they're pariahs.
You try to stimulate them a little, you know.
Yeah. Listen, if they attacked more homeless people in California, they'd have less of a problem.
That's not what they meant by lighting a fire into their ass.
Skid Row would clear out, you know.
It would.
Took it seriously.
You know what? Maybe we should start this. Let's go to California, get some fireworks for the 4th of July.
There'd
Yeah.
be a guy that has like a sandwich shop, and they'd say, "Well, what happened to you?" He'd be like, "Well, I was homeless 10 years ago, and a man shot me in the face with a bottle rocket, and I said, fuck this, I'm gonna go get a loan."
Now I'm a contributing
Now-
member to society.
Now I own a successful deli. And that bottle rocket never would have hit me in the forehead. I never would have done this.
Oh my god.
Which is why we're also closed for the 4th of July.
Do you guys want me to bring the
welcome.
whole mood down?
No.
I'm taking
Yes.
that. I'm bringing the whole mood
Yes.
down.
No.
So my brother
Yes.
got hit in the eye with a bottle rocket on 4th of July one year. Yep.
shit.
$300,000 worth of surgeries and
Oh my god.
yep, detached retina. He had to lay face forward in a like a headrest for a whole week and like watch TV like with it. It didn't fix it. He has got special glasses now and he can see okay. I mean, we still ride motorcycles, drives, he finds just the one eye and you can't really tell by looking at it, but it is a real risk. So, and it's a big surgery. And
Does he still set off fireworks?
sometimes, yeah.
Fuck
Yeah,
this
yeah, but they don't. Well,
champion.
they were shooting them at each other, which is dumb as
Right.
fuck.
Hey, we just
Sorry
said we
for
were
the
all there.
person's-
Yes.
Yeah.
All there.
Sorry for the person's homeowner's insurance that got raped on that one.
Oh
No,
my
now
God.
So don't do it at your house.
Yeah, no. Now when we do fireworks, we do them much more responsibly. Now.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because
back
we're
then,
slower now.
Back then it was
can't
it was all about
Reflexes are
shooting
definitely
them, throwing them at each other, and we had access to like quarter sticks of dynamite back then.
Yeah.
Well,
Blockbusters and
much
M80s.
to thank the people of Jackass, the reason I fired that bottle rocket out of my ass was a direct result of Steve-O. I mean, he inspired me. He had done it first. I was like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, and to me, I was watching Lincoln when I was growing up. So I mean, you, Steve-O, and bottle rockets out of your ass.
Like,
I'm like, you know what?
President Lincoln? Like that's how old you
No,
are?
Abraham Lincoln, vampire hunter.
I will say this: you have to definitely, you have to be very careful with the angle when you launch that, when you perform that move. You know,
I would say so. You could scorch your anus.
No, I see. What happened was
Where's Dr. Rimmer when we need him?
Yeah, exactly. My angle was not correct. I tried to like arch up, feet over my head, and
Your
what I ended
anal
up
was
doing,
not correct either.
No, it was not. No, what I ended up doing was showering my balls in sparks, and it was not good. It was not good.
Is that why they're hairless now?
Yes,
Don't ask how I
yes.
know that.
So what you're saying is we need to
Alopecia.
recreate this year for the 4th of July.
Aren't you having a get
Don't
together
slap
Monday?
me, please.
We are.
I'll start waxing immediately.
No, that'll take away some of the fun.
Absolutely. At halftime, you know,
Everyone thinks to
when you
set
want
on
to clear
fire.
people out.
Yeah.
When you want to clear
yeah,
people
yeah,
out towards the end, just let me know. I'll show you guys a trick.
Oh my god.
Except we'll do an actual like mortar. I'll fire a
Oh
mortar.
my god. Yes.
Boom.
You know what? I'm with it. Let's do it.
I was a little more responsible. I would just launch, the yellow pages onto somebody's roof. Or
There you go.
You put the metal trash cans, like back in New York, put a Blockbuster, watch that baby go flying.
Dude.
Yeah.
They get launched.
And they
What
would set
were
off
the
every
strings?
fire-
What were the strings like the ones that
Tampons?
popped? No, well that too.
Way to bring the mood down.
What, the ones
Your
where you-
brother's story was
ones where you-
already,
Meanwhile,
I
another
mean,
shortage.
The pull ones.
Yeah, we don't have to worry.
Yeah,
about
well
that.
you'd light it and the whole string would start popping. They tie them to people's legs and
Jumping
shit.
jacks.
Oh,
Jumping
you're
jacks.
talking,
Jumping jacks.
no, he's talking about the regular, not the jumping jacks.
They were like
Those
little,
the colors.
They were little sticks. They look like dynamite. but they
Oh,
were-
They're
yeah,
little
yeah, I know
different.
what you're
Fire.
talking about.
I'm pretty sure it's just firecrackers.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like
Dude,
just
they were-
generic Chinese
Like
New
me,
Year
bitch.
firework.
You throw
Wow,
one of those.
way to be racist.
Now,
That's
they-
what they
they-
do.
Whoa,
Big old string. They let it pop, pop, pop,
He
pop,
was
pop.
crediting him.
Stop,
They
stop.
credited it.
No, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
No, I
They
don't.
put a dragon suit on.
No, I
Don't drag
don't.
him
Like the
into
big
this.
string of
Don't
fireworks.
drag
Never
him
seen
into
that.
this.
Wait, it's not Asian. It's not Asian. The Chinese invented fireworks.
No, sir.
You're not going to credit the Vietnamese with
No,
that.
sir.
Sorry, you guys make delicious soup, but you didn't invent fireworks.
I wouldn't
Sorry.
credit Vietnamese people with anything explosive, please. It is 4th of July.
The war's over. The war's over.
Did you just credit them for wonton soup and fireworks in the same
You
breath?
fucking not wonton soup. I was crediting them with pho. They make delicious pho soup.
I heard wonton soup.
Of course you would. You
Fuck
hate everyone.
you.
Holy shit. The only thing you forgot was fortune cookies. You racist bastard.
I don't even think the Chinese invented fortune cookies.
Fortune cookies are
No,
actually
they
an
did.
American
American.
invention.
American thing. Yep.
That's how
Just like
racist
French
that
fries.
is.
Wow.
Some corporate executive was like, tell them they have some magic cookie. They'll never fucking know.
It was Ian's dad.
Hey, my dad fought in Vietnam, damn it.
Yeah. And he came back with an idea for fortune cookies.
Hey, whoever did is banking big time.
He came back and he left me.
Oh, Jesus.
That
Hey,
explains a lot of things.
listen, man, it's really hard to find milk.
Does it explain that?
That cigarette store, it was closed.
Yeah, he never came back. Just kidding, Dad. He listens, by the way.
From afar, apparently.
Yeah, very far.
Yeah.
He still has a ponytail.
Oh,
Oh.
nice. All right.
Come
both
on, I
of
know
ya.
how much you love
The
it.
both of
genetic.
you.
I know how much you love it.
I know.
But
he
is it
just
like a
wants someone to
legit
pull it, that's
ponytail
why.
with a full head of hair, or is
Margo's
it like
t-
just
Mar-
a little ponytail and like the rest of the hair?
No,
is
my
gone?
dad is like 73 with a full ponytail.
Nice.
Fuck yeah.
So my
It's good to
genetics
have
are
that
gonna be
much hair.
strong.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too, man.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I know,
Eddie.
I know.
He has hair everywhere else. That's okay.
That's right.
You make up for
I
it.
guess that's
Yeah.
what counts.
Eddie is a
So
man
does
beast.
Margo, by the way.
I do.
Yes, actually, yes.
It's bad. I am Italian. I said
Yes.
so.
If you guys were to make love, you would get tangled. You'd be tangled.
I had a friend who was so hairy.
We
that
would have to weed whack one of you free.
I might need to. I had a friend who was so hairy that he said one time that he tried to take a shit and the hair was all tied together and he couldn't.
Oh, man.
So whenever I'm
That
hungry
is-
and I want to be on a diet, I think of that and I don't eat.
So that it was just getting mushed through a forest.
It was-
like,
yeah.
like wire cut. Yeah.
It was like
Anybody wanna-
it was like one of those spaghetti machines where you just put it yeah.
There was a guy that I used to wrestle with. I don't know what he's up to now, but back in high school, his name was Matt Watkins, and he was a werewolf. His whole body from the neck.
Is he single?
I don't know.
I like
We
a
can
hairy,
find out.
I like a
He
hairy
was-
wrestler.
From the neck down. From the neck down, this dude had a fur coat on. Like, dude, his ass. Each ass cheek was like a fucking fur pad.
I have to ask. At what point in time did you see his ass?
Every day after wrestling practice.
Oh, okay.
Every day. Because after practice, he knew that the freshmen had to sit on this one bench. Like each aisle in the locker room, it was designated. The nicer lockers on the end by the shower were the seniors. The whole way down to the lockers at the entrance were the freshmen. As soon as practice was over, Matt would run into the locker room, sweaty as fuck, take off his singlet, put his hairy ass on the freshman bench, and like a musical, he would slide the whole way to the other end of the bench. So now the entire bench is
Like
just
a musical.
glistening.
It's a bit-
Glistening in
You
hairy
lost
ass
me at
sweat.
musical.
And then he would dance.
Hairy ass
He would dance
sweat? I'm
back to
into
the
it.
senior
Musical,
side.
no.
Oh, dude.
And that, folks, is how COVID was started.
Maybe, yeah. I guarantee you there was some freshmen with MRSA on their face. Because
I was
of
gonna
that
say
walking.
that's a different kind of ringworm.
Oh man,
That's your O-ring worm.
He was a fucking monster.
Parental advisory
Yeah.
for this podcast.
Oh man. Yeah, hazing was a thing. That was a thing.
God.
It was definitely a thing.
No,
miss
in the
hazing.
army
Me too.
we had hazing. They did the atomic sit-up, it was called. And so what they would do is they would tell you
I know
that
where this is going.
There
Keep
was
going.
no way you could do a sit-up blindfolded.
Yeah, okay.
It was physically
Yep.
impossible.
You fell for that shit though.
Oh no.
I was gonna say.
No. I trusted no one. That is how
God.
I live my life. And so they tied a bandana around his head, and they're holding his shoulders down. They're like, "No way,
Sounds very
physically,
pornographic.
you can do
I'm getting
this
excited.
I know.
sit-up." And someone would park in front of them, take their
can't
pants
tell.
down, ass cheeks a spread, and as you're trying to do this sit-up, then they let your shoulders go, face plant right into some ass.
Yep.
Why does everything have to be gay when it comes to hazing
That's just
stuff?
the way it is, you know.
Because it's funner that way.
We're all a little gay.
I think. I mean, why not? It's Pride Month.
What-
Happy,
wait,
happy
yeah,
Pride.
wait, what's
Ian,
his
happy
name?
Pride.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I was sad
All of
because
my
I had
friends
a,
are lesbians, so happy
I
Pride
had a
to
wedding to
them too.
go to. I was going to go to the Pride in Fort Lauderdale. I was going to go. I
They
had a
know how
good
to-
time.
listen, they know
I
how
had
to
a good
party.
fucking time. I went
Next
to a
time they
Pride
have
in
one, I'm going
Nashville.
with
Tennessee.
They know how to party. I will tell you that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going
Yeah.
next time. Let me know, I'll come
I'll
with
go
you.
with you. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll hold hands. Be gay
Okay.
together.
Well, that's kind of.
Who's the man?
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
I was gonna say you guys can fight for it, but
I
we
do
all
not
know
want to do that.
Margo would win.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
That's true.
It would be
I'm not trying to-
over fast because
Hey.
she's biting them ankles.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the army, now you did jumps, right?
And I did out of helicopter and I did rappelling.
Okay.
So I never jumped out of a plane.
I didn't know this, but speaking of jumps, my best friend is military and he jumps all the time. And he said the first time I asked him, okay, now he's been to Afghanistan twice, seen some crazy shit. And I said, what's the most scared, like terrified you've ever been? He said, on my first jump, first of all, they have someone else pack your parachute and they don't tell you who packed it. You go out with a bunch of guys
God.
and beforehand they play a song and a video and it's all about people who die when they're jumping. It's like this hilarious old school song with like a 10-piece chorus, all like a cappella.
Yeah.
And have you heard that song? What the fuck?
Like I said, I
love the psychology.
never jumped out of a plane, but it doesn't sound far from the truth because
It is so funny.
it's in the Army, in the Air Force, in the Marines. A lot of it is psychological because
Gallows
they're trying,
humor as well.
Right.
Yeah,
they love
it's
the
so
little
funny.
humor. It's kind of like people that work in the ER. They have to laugh at the things that
Yeah.
they're
Afraid of.
surrounded by in order to get through the day,
Yeah.
right? Because if you're just constantly depressed from everybody that passes away or everybody that comes in with a serious injury that there's nothing you could do about it, it's really hard to get through the day. So I would say in the Army, for me, when I was there, like I knew that it was a part of that. There was that dark humor because you used it
Very
as a defense mechanism to like push through the day.
Yeah.
You know?
The army, the ranger, the school that jumps is Rangers too, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
airborne.
Yeah, and there was there's a video that came out a little bit ago. It was a couple months ago of a guy that he didn't open his chute till like way too late. Like he was okay, thankfully, but as he's falling, like other people are opening their parachutes, you can still see this guy falling and struggling to get his chute. and the instructor, like, he yells. The guy can't hear him. He's in the
Yeah.
fucking air falling. But you just hear the guy go, "Open your safety chute, dumb fuck." It's just this man is about to die on camera. And the instructor's just like, "Open the other chute, you dumb fuck." And I was like, oh my God. Like, that's just so great.
Yeah,
Like,
because that's a part of
and then
that
as soon as the
lifestyle.
safety chute opens, everybody starts laughing.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, okay,
Because
he's
they
going to
know
live.
it's okay.
It's,
Yeah.
it's
He's gonna
something
live.
I don't think I'd ever do it. I don't think I'd ever do it. I
What,
just
jump out of a plane or be in the service?
no jump out of the plane. And with a parachute, I just can't. It's just not something I would ever do. I think the reason why is New Year's 2000 when the world was supposed to end and unfortunately didn't.
Y2K?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went up to. There's a band in Jupiter called Box Elder. Not anymore. This was years and years ago, obviously. And they played a big concert up at Sebastian skydiving, and everyone jumped out, at New Year's with glow sticks on. It was really cool. And I was talking to a couple of the guys that do it professionally, and I found out how many people actually die per year, and it's way more than you'd expect. And I was like, those odds are not my odds.
And there are some pretty
stay on the
serious
ground.
injuries that you can sustain as well if you don't land properly.
Oh yeah.
And
Glow
actually, you'd
Already
be
have weak
surprised how
ankles.
many people shit themselves the first time they jump out of a plane.
I believe it. I believe it.
Because they don't really recognize the fear until you're
Yeah.
up there looking down.
It's not where a human's supposed to be. Is up there.
It's
not
a wild
natural.
thing.
No.
Yeah, and so even for the cadets at the Air Force Academy, their first jump is not tandem. Like they do a little bit of
By
training.
themselves?
It's
Yep.
by themselves,
Ooh,
and then
fuck
they have
no.
to
Fuck you.
They have to do 5 jumps as a part of their graduation in the Air Force Academy.
Yeah.
Even if they never do it again, they want them to know.
This is a possibility.
Essentially, no, even that. Not only that, it's a possibility. Essentially, every time you send, because they're in officers training, every time you send somebody out, this is what they have to go through.
Yeah.
So you should have a fine understanding of these people that you're sending into these situations, what they're going to go through.
Yeah.
And I think that's very smart. I think
Yeah.
any good kind of leader learns through experience.
They don't do that shit at a hospital.
No, man.
Yeah.
They'll put somebody in charge of a department. They never worked a fucking day in that department.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, we're cutting this guy open today. Oh, that's nice.
Weren't you a janitor last week?
Yeah.
No,
Yes, but I was a doctor
I
in
see it.
Cuba.
I see it in the operating room. I won't say too much because I still work there. But I'm just saying, I've seen operating rooms being run by people. I'm like, how long did you work in the OR? They never did. Like,
Yeah, my
fuck.
friend did too,
Okay.
and all of a sudden he's
Okay.
like in the OR, and my friend's like great, but like kind of incompetent, and they're like, and he like was in charge of like cleaning and disinfecting everything. I was like, oh fuck, everyone's dying. It's like I can't imagine how many times he showed up to work hungover and
Yeah,
Oh,
of
man.
course, of course. But you know
Yeah.
what? You know what it is too. It's like you got to give it up for the people in the medical profession. They
Yeah.
work some ridiculous hours.
well,
Yeah.
and not only
they
that,
are constantly overworked, understaffed, and this has been going on for a very long time.
But even the process of getting to your doctorate, the kind of unnecessary gauntlet of they make you work 24-hour shifts
Straight.
while you're also going to school, where it's like you're literally just putting this person on the point where they're barely mentally functioning, and then you want them to go do their residency while they're also still studying. It's like you're making it it should be a hard thing to attain, but it should not be at a point
Impossible.
of where you're asking out of the person to plausibly hurt somebody because they're not in a good mental state while they're working.
Yeah.
it's kind of like how they were joking around about the rockets going to the moon and stuff, and they're like, yeah, it was built by the lowest bidder,
Yes.
that type of thing. But what people don't know, and I saw this whole documentary recently that
that's a lie.
titanium hips and knees and all the medical products that go into your body, that shit's all experimental. None of it's been really
Yeah.
FDA approved or testing. They just put it into people's bodies and just see what happens. Still till this day, that terrifies me.
But unfortunately,
Yeah, it's always
that's-
changing. It's always changing. That's
Yeah.
what reps
That's
do.
how you
Yeah.
advance the sciences. Is that somebody
Yeah, you
has to
have to.
kind of be the guinea pig.
Somebody's
Yeah.
got to be the first
Everyone's
one.
a guinea pig.
Unfortunately,
I'll just say this. Every fucking day in the OR when I'm there, there's multiple joint revisions every day.
Oh, all the
there's
time,
someone's hip or shoulder or something knee being done again because the first time it was done.
It just scares me, especially training
Now
jiu-jitsu
some of them,
and stuff. It's like,
some of them wore out.
Eventually.
Some of them, it's like it was a good thing. The guy had it for 20 years.
Right.
He needs it revised because it's failing after 20 years.
Yeah.
But some people, it's like what their first like they had it put in 8 months ago. Why is it being revised? It's a fucking faulty implant.
Put pig parts in me.
They're getting there.
Yeah, almost.
They're not far off. They're gene
girl.
editing and they're.
I'm all about the
I was
gene
waiting
editing,
for you. That took too long for you to
cloning,
react.
everything.
Put pig parts in
I was being nice. I was being nice.
Okay.
I didn't
Why
want to
are
say
you
it.
being nice?
I shut my mouth. I was
Why
like,
are you drinking pink shit?
that's not mine.
That's mine.
Oh, that's
Never
mind.
Blaming
mind.
me.
It's my man pig hybrid formula.
right.
The changing has begun.
I don't want those pig
Well, you
parts.
said you wanted pig parts, right?
Nope.
Oh, you're getting them.
Like you squeal like a pig.
Shit.
Oh shit!
Deliver.
Speaking of the
Why
hills
does
have
no?
eyes.
Hold on. When people train, when you guys train, I say that all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Make you squeal like a pig, and nobody, like, no one thinks it's funny because I'm not funny. But, and then I also love, like, every time I take my gi top off, I'm always like kind of hot in these rhinos. Like,
And nobody wants to laugh.
no, and I've been doing it for 8 years because I'm
Maybe
a total
that's
nerd.
Maybe that's why.
I'm a total
I mean,
nerd.
if you say
I
the
kind of
same
say it to
joke
myself. I kind of
for
say it to
8
myself.
years
Nobody
straight,
hears me.
I would
Every-
not
yeah.
laugh either.
No one
Every
ever
now and
really
then,
listens to me.
every now and then, I'll tell somebody they smell pretty. They don't like that.
In jiu-jitsu or?
Yeah, it's never a female.
Yeah, and it's usually while he's
Never
giving
a
them a Kimura. It's
Yeah.
like about to tap him out. He's like, "Oh, you smell pretty," and then you crank that shit in. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's not a good time, Ian.
Taste their
No,
smell
that's
a
not a
little.
good time. Yeah,
I will occasionally be like, just lift your chin a little. Just when you're halfway there,
Yeah.
and you're like, just lift your chin a little. Just let me get under there.
Just lift it a little. Just tilt your head up slightly.
it is insulting. I have done that myself. Where like you're just
out
about
here.
to tap somebody out, and then you just like lean in, and you're just like, you're gonna tap. You're gonna give this to
tap
me.
already.
You're gonna give it to me. It's mine.
Like little Khabib psychology.
Yeah. No, what Khabib did was fucking wild. He's like, now you want to talk? Now you ask. He's fucking
Well,
up
the
Conor McGregor.
Well, also the big example of that was when he beat Michael Johnson's ass, and he was telling him, "This is my destiny. You must give in. It's my destiny to be champion." Like if a dude's beating your ass and telling you that, I'd be like, "You're right." You're
I
right.
mean, that's why the guy quit
Go
and
enjoy
started-
your destiny. I just
Yeah.
tap out. I'm like, yeah,
You better quit and become a manager at McDonald's or something at that point. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
this is his destiny. It's not mine. I'm the
Yeah.
fuck out of here, man. I can't.
It's
fuck
weird
with
though.
that.
Michael Johnson, like he's hot and cold. He'll go on like
Yeah.
a period, he'll lose 3 fights, and then all of a sudden he'll beat a top contender. Like it's and he's on a hot note again. He just had some big win, like it was either last card or 2 cards ago. So
Yeah.
I met him too at Combat
Nice.
Club.
Yeah,
He
no,
seems like a nice guy.
You know what? Nate Diaz too. He just put out there that he's like he wants his last fight. He wants him to schedule a fight,
He wants to box.
and he wants to get the fuck out because he wants
He
to
wants,
fight.
he wants to box Jake Paul.
Yes. And so there's big money on the line for him, which is why he's up to his usual antics.
Yeah. Well,
But
Jake
he's like-
Paul has to get past Tyson Fury's little brother Tommy.
Yeah,
Because they're booking that one for August.
but win or
Madison
lose,
Square
win or
Garden.
lose, he can still fight
He could.
the Diaz.
Yeah.
You know what I
He
mean?
could.
Like I don't think it's going to be a big hindrance.
Well, all I know is
because he's a great marketer of anything else. He is a really good
Yeah.
promoter of
Yeah.
himself.
Tommy Fury is. I mean, he's not nearly as good as his older brother. 'Cause his older brother is the best heavyweight of our
Yeah,
time.
he's just carrying the name.
But Tommy Fury is an accomplished professional boxer.
Mm-hmm.
If Jake Paul beats him in a boxing match, I think he'll beat Nate Diaz.
Well, what would be your
I
prediction
guar-
in that fight?
I think Tommy Fury beats him. Because
Mm-hmm.
Jake Paul has beaten guys so far, but the best guy he beat was Tyrone Woodley, who we can say, yes, he was a UFC welterweight champion and one of the best welterweight champions. He's not a boxer. He was
Yeah.
a wrestler.
Yeah.
He was a
Yeah.
wrestler who could punch really hard, but boxing is all technique. I mean, if you study just the discipline of boxing, you should be able to slip and move and get out of the way of
Like
stuff.
he was in MMA, but he came into MMA through grappling, not through striking.
But not only
Right,
that, like he
right.
came in to fight him like at the end of his career where it wasn't
Yes,
as
Woodley had some miles on him.
impressive, like
some
because
miles on
he
him.
felt like he just didn't want to fight anymore. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't engaging.
But if Jake
in his
beats
last
Tommy,
fights.
if Jake beats Tommy, he's gonna beat a young, skilled, strong, bigger fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And if he beats him, I guarantee you he'll beat Nate Diaz. I guarantee you. So,
I'd like
yeah.
to see it. I'd like to
Yeah.
see it though. Either way, I
But
think
it'd be good for Nate to make some money.
Nate
you know?
Diaz would put on a fucking show because that is
course he would.
exactly what he does.
Was it Nate or Nick that was like really out of shape the last fight?
Nick
he
looked
was
horrible against
really
Robbie
out of
Lawler.
shape and he retired after that, right? Did he?
He's
Or
on
like
the fence.
He's always
Yeah.
been like he's like Jay-Z. He's like retired, not retired, retired, not retired.
I mean, the CTE between the two of them.
Yeah.
But you know what?
They don't block punches with anything
Before
but
they
their
started
face.
fighting, I
Yeah,
mean.
and look, to be fair, they probably don't remember it.
No,
Yeah, probably not.
listen.
Nick's delusional though. Nick was asking for a fight against Kamaru. He's like, I'm like, come on, man, why? How?
But they want the big payday. They and for them, it's a win-win situation.
Invest in crypto. Why are you fighting?
They are not. They are not investing in crypto.
Pay someone to invest in crypto for you.
It's on the way down. Eventually,
fighting.
it'll go back up, right?
Yeah.
No, but right, like if you're a guy like Nate or Nick Diaz and you fight a Kamaru Usman, it's a win-win situation.
Yeah.
He's the best of the best. So if you lose, you're like, well, I fought the best. That's why I lost because I'd fuck
But
anybody else up.
why would Usman want that fight? He
No.
should be fighting
just
the
for-
best of the best
He
himself.
should.
He right, and that's probably where he's leaning. But it's a big payday. At the end of the day, they're there to make money.
I hate some of these like matchups that they do.
I know.
Like with oh my god, like the way that they just had Ronda Rousey, years ago, come up through the ranks. Like she fought a lot of easy people in the beginning.
Yeah.
Just to make her look like the champion,
Yes.
and then which I mean she's great. Don't get me wrong, but they set up the fights so that it's just so strategic. Like I'd really like to see a brawler fight a brawler,
Right, but
like a real fight.
But I would say
That was the
at that time.
Amanda Nunes against Cyborg
Yeah.
fight.
That was a good one.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
I would say though, at that time they needed a Ronda Rousey because
Of
they
course.
were trying to really bring in the women's division as like a powerhouse. She had the charisma. She was the face of women's fighting.
Well, yeah.
Here we go.
'cause-
Ian's gonna lead
know.
on.
Yeah, go for it, Ian. Yeah,
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about
Hold on, everybody, stop and watch
What do they
Ian.
call those? The NS.
Oh, go for it, Ian. You bastard.
I really was expecting him to swallow it whole.
That's
I'm not as good as you, Margo.
Well, nobody is, but anyway.
But no.
And back to Ronda Rousey.
Dana White said that women would never fight in the UFC.
Yeah,
Right.
And he was
changed
saying
his
that.
mind.
Well, he was saying that back in the time when Gina Carano was fighting the Strikeforce and stuff like
Right.
that. But then once Ronda came along, he saw the hype behind her.
Yeah.
Right.
And he was like,
And he rode the train,
I have
rightfully
to
so.
say-
yeah, I can make some money on that.
The last two UFC fights, the most exciting fights were the women.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was on their feet. I mean, those are the best of the fights. Was the women fights.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really becoming a thing. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not like a go women type of person. I'm like, I don't give a shit.
no,
Just
but no.
if you can fight, you can fight. I don't
Right.
care.
No, and
But-
they're delivering, so you got to give them the props
But it
when
is
they deliver.
entertaining. It is, yeah. And very skilled. Very skilled. So I
And
really
I think it's a harder road for a woman to get into UFC than most of the guys. So to get there, you already have to be more technically sound.
Oh yeah.
You got to want it more, and you got to deliver in the ring in order to get that next fight.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like because they recognize you got to kind of have that Amanda Nunes
I think the best is-
personality, persona. You know, you got to be you got to like a Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Like they're not only
Enjoy your
great
retirement.
fighters, they
your
are.
retirement, Joanna.
They came in there like a hurricane. Like they had personality. You know,
I like Valentina Shevchenko. In my opinion, she's the best female fighter. I would say she's the best to do it.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, her last fight though, it was a little it was contested. I mean, I'm a Valentina Shevchenko fan.
Yeah.
Oh, we know.
I can see.
Oh,
how,
we know.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
we
can
know.
I can see how she edged the decision, but I could also see how Talia Santos could have possibly got
Every
it.
time
Yeah.
that woman fights and Ian is in a room, she's like, "Did I tell you guys I love her? Did I tell you guys I love her? I love that woman. Did you see that? I love her.
Love her.
I love her.
Love her.
Oh, she just walked out. I love her. You see that? Is that her entrance music? Because I love her.
I love her. I wanted her to know.
Well, if she
should tell
didn't,
her.
if she didn't, she
I'm a
knows
big-
now.
I'm a big fan.
She knows now. All right, tell her again right now. Oh, you're eating. Oh, man,
I love you.
Eddie, that wasn't for you. Why are you smiling?
Eddie was for you too.
So, all right, I'm gonna jump back into some nerdy shit, despite
boy.
Margo.
Oh man.
So
I like how I'm not the nerd out of all of you guys.
no, you're a different kind of nerd.
I'm a total dork.
yeah.
For musicals.
Yes, for musicals and motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And men with man buns that drink coffee.
Yeah. Anyway.
So a little interesting thing we were watching was some of the new and up and coming Marvel movies. And one of the things that they were showing for the Fantastic Four is they're going to bring back, what's his name?
John Krasinski.
John Krasinski. as Mr. Fantastic. So now you have a reason to go to the movies and watch a Marvel movie.
And you know what his power is? His power is he can stretch any part of his body.
Okay, well,
She's like, I'm in. I don't know what the movie's about.
I don't want to do it because the table's here, but that happens to be my.
That's your power?
Oh shit!
It's gonna be.
But what they're saying is that they're looking to cast no-name actors for the rest of the squad, which presents an interesting idea. Like what they did with Tom Holland is that there's less of an expectation to perform, and it allows the new actors to come in there and kind of give their own approach
So I can be
to it.
I can be Mrs. Richards.
No.
Why not?
If anything, you could be the Thing.
Oh,
He's a superhero that's made of rock.
is it my
I know
forehead?
what it
Of course you know what the Thing
I
is.
know what it is.
She knows a thing or
Is
two
he a
about
big burly
the
dude?
Thing.
Yep.
Yes.
Is every part of him made of rock?
Yes.
I see.
Where did all those scratches come from?
Damn. You gotta have some sharp nails to scratch the Thing up.
Damn,
No,
what
I
the
meant
hell?
the scratches on the
Yeah,
person.
right. Yeah, I'm
Damn.
sure
Never
you
mind.
did.
Damn.
Whatever.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Jesus.
put your mark on the Thing. Yeah.
Oh no.
I meant someone being scratched up from hanging out
Oh,
with
no.
the Thing.
Please do explain.
You get scratched when you're climbing on rocks and shit.
Oh,
Sure.
Oh my god, he doesn't know how any of this works.
That's
Are you
your
a virgin?
story, and you're sticking to it.
now we get it. We get it.
I'm married to Jesus.
Knew you were gay. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Happy Pride Month. Jesus had abs.
Jesus.
Oh man,
It's Jesus.
Jesus was jacked, man. He was a carpenter, shredded.
And he was Jewish.
No. He was Spanish. His name was Jesus.
A Spanish
Name
Jew.
any.
Haven't you guys
How
ever?
many, yeah, exactly. How many
Haven't-
Jewish people do you know named Jesus?
Haven't you guys ever seen? Haven't you guys ever seen the paintings? He was a white guy with blue eyes and
and
brown
tech-
hair.
Oh yeah.
And technically,
And whitewashed.
he was
Yes.
he was a tecton, which didn't mean carpenter. It was day laborer.
Oh,
I'm so glad that
he
we
was
got
just-
into
so he was
religion.
like he was shredded.
No, we went to CCD for many years. We were those assholes that would leave school and go to religious instruction.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
And they would beat
So-
this shit into your brain.
So who was more shredded, Jesus or Muhammad?
Moses.
Moses?
Yes, he had to deal with all the animals.
You think Noah was ripped because he had to build the ark?
I think he had people build it for him.
Are you suggesting Noah used slaves?
I'm just saying.
Well,
Oh
that's
my
the end of
God.
this podcast.
Speaking of religion, abortion. One more time. That's it. Okay, I'm done. That's the end. That's the end. I'm done. I'm done. It's too much.
I love
Too
it.
much even for me.
I love
So
it.
back to Obi-Wan's ending.
Oh, you
So
can't.
that Darth
You
Vader.
can't circle back to
So how about that Darth Vader, huh? That was some lightsaber fight,
I
huh?
know, right? Oh man.
What did I say earlier? Obi, want to get out of here right now?
No, last night as a grown man, I had a couple beers and I put my lightsaber on and I was in the front yard.
I was wondering why he said as a grown man.
Yeah.
I'm
I thought he was gonna be wearing a diaper or
Do
something.
you keep the lightsaber in your dresser drawer?
As a matter of fact.
I do.
Wow.
Wom.
So, but I'm
What are you doing
outside.
there, Nelson? Wom.
Great sound.
So,
That's a good sound.
so I'm outside swinging my lightsaber because this is a real thing. And the Puerto Ricans across the street
No.
were talking in Spanish like, what the fuck is going on?
It's like 4th of July in New York all over again.
The riots have started.
No, because these were my actual people, but they came out to like watch me fuck around with this lightsaber.
You are such an embarrassment.
They probably
You have a whole backyard.
I don't care. I want the people to see.
they probably thought it was he was on meth or something. Right?
Speaking of meth, I'm sorry if you're gonna watch the video and I'm like itching and I'm a little allergic to my thyroid medication, so yeah, I'm not itching because of meth and doing this.
I thought it was the
fidgeting
pillow
and
you got
shit.
from the yard sale.
Yeah,
Probably the
please.
soaked pillow beneath you.
Yeah. Oh, it's soaked now.
I know it's
sad.
leaking into my left thigh.
That's not.
Told you to wear a
I
bathing
know.
suit.
That's
Ian.
not that's fine.
That's not what that is.
We were talking about the thing. So.
I thought it was Reed Richards.
Yeah, no, it's both. It's gonna be a fantastic foursome.
And that's how we end the podcast.
Oh, I was gonna call.
Thank
Dr.
you for joining us here at the Sofa Kingdom podcast. You can find us on all your social media platforms at,
Sofa Kingdom OFC.
and you can find us on YouTube in 4K at.
Sofa Kingdom Podcast.
Ian, take us away.
Like, share, comment, Instagram, tweet. Do what you got to do. Get us out there. And also, don't forget to check out Margo Posner and Jits Chicks.
Woo! Tell them
pretty
how they
funny.
can find you.
Jits Chicks on Instagram. We're going to be doing Instagram lives, and I have a few more people that are coming up on the podcast soon that I'm going to be doing.
Very
Ooh.
nice.
Yep.
Very nice. And we hear you like to do the karaoke.
Yes, karaoke I do Wednesday nights at Shithole Uncle Mix in Jupiter, and my band is playing Monday night at Angelo's and Tony Penna about 6:30.
There you go.
Very nice,
You heard
very
it.
nice.
You heard it.
And they really love it when you yell obscenities at them while they're playing.
They
And
do.
I sing
And bring your own pillow. Bring your own pillow.
Bring your own
Yes.
pillows.
Margo will sit on it.
BYOP.
Yes, that's right. But it has to be bought from a yard sale.
Yes.
Yeah.
No retail
Free from a
pillows
yard
are
sale.
accepted. No.
Free from your.
That's not how we do this.
Okay, my ears are sweating.
Oh, God. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure my ass is sweating.
That's good. That's good.